Hi, my name is Nick, and welcome to Modern Philosophy. And today we're going to have a debate on whether or not religion is a good thing or a bad thing. I am on the side of religion is a good thing. My guest today, who's on the phone right now, is in the voice Angry Philosophy is here, and he's going to share why religion is a bad thing. So, could you tell me why you chose this side?
Well, my main point really is because religion causes a huge separation in society and the people who are part of it.
Could you explain to me how that happens?
Well, beautiful cultures, such as the Middle East, and I guess you could call some parts of Western society beautiful, are constantly really in a state of unrest due to religious persecution.
Yes, but I'm going to go to the defensive side on that. Since Islam started and got rid of those pagan religions that were across the Middle East, Islamic society has been, well, very, very peaceful until the Seljuk Muslims of Egypt took over the Holy Land around that time, and that's how the Crusades started. But really, Islam, the social structure over there was very, very peaceful, and it was even more well advanced than medieval Europe back then.
Yeah, but that's back then.
Well, yeah, back then.
Now you go to the Middle East right now, and it's bombing and everything else, but that's partly due to a civil war and different ideologies.
Well, the reason why it's in this state of war, it's because of greed. You see, greed over the land in the Middle East, and how everyone wants a piece of that oil over there. And also because of the religious extremism. Well, it's people don't really go to war and stuff just because of religion. There has to be something else in that. So let's say for like land grabs and
Well, we went to war with Iraq because of religion.
really what happened right there?
Their religion said it was okay to blow up two twin towers, so we attacked them afterwards.
Yeah, but you see, you see this a lot with people like Osama bin Laden, who said stuff in the Quran that was violent, but he actually missed a lot of verses that really said a lot of peaceful things after those violent verses. So really, it's just a battle of wits, you see, because religion is not bad itself, it's just has bad people in it. You can't disprove religion just because there's bad people in it.
Well, wouldn't you say that religion has to be judged on the people who are a part of it, not its standards?
So what?
On paper, communism is great, but the people who take part in it aren't so great, making communism not so great. So wouldn't religion be the same thing?
I believe that religion should be judged by the way it teaches, not the way its people are. So,
But what about Romans 1:32, where it says that anybody who practices against God deserves to be killed?
wait, can you repeat that again?
In Romans 1:32, it says that anybody who practices against God deserves death.
Deserves death. What do you mean by death? Like capital punishment death, or like death in spirit?
Well, it doesn't say capital punishment, but I assume that's what people would interpret it as.
Well, you could interpret it in I would interpret it in two ways: capital punishment, or like a spiritual death, like going to heaven and hell and stuff like that. But yes, people who do bad in the name of their own religion are bad people because they are not following the codes and rules of that religion.
Well, don't you also think that some people will take God's wrath, you want to call it that, into their own hands?
God's wrath. You see, God's wrath has a lot of like meaning in that. It's like God's wrath could mean a war. God's wrath could mean a natural disaster. But I'm sorry. What did you say? Like what?
People will take it in their own hands and say that what they would do, say blow up something or shoot a bunch of people, is better than what God would have done. So you should thank them for taking God's wrath into their own hands.
I wouldn't necessarily. Well, let's go to the Crusades, for example. People killed people in God's name, right?
Yeah, there have been hundreds or even possibly thousands of religious crusades with a body count that equates to over 1 million people.
Yes. But you see, do you think that people looked at the Crusades as a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends on what side they're on.
Okay, so did everyone in Europe, medieval Europe back then, thought that the Crusades were absolutely great?
No, of course not.
That's true, but most of them did. Even very, very, like, have you ever heard of St. Francis of Assisi?
Yes.
Yes, he was a very, very peaceful person. He wouldn't even, like, hurt a fly if you read his story and stuff like that. Even if you watch the movie Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, he goes around naked and stuff like that. But really, he really endorsed the crusade part because he even went on, I would say, the 5th Crusade to negotiate a peace between Saladin, I think, was the Muslim commander of the armies back then.
Well, even still, she was a part of it. And again, the Crusades have equated to over 1 million people being dead. And over 1,000 years, 1 million people can be a huge amount more. I mean, it's almost impossible to tell, but it's absolutely more than 1 million.
You know, I want to go into like okay, I wasn't like trying to go this far, but I wanted to go and see what the future would be like if Muslims, the Seljuk Muslims, controlled all of Europe. So, if they have controlled all of Europe, our society would be very different from what it is now. And since Muslims were attacking in the Middle East and all the way into Europe, they even sacked Rome a couple of times, I think, and even all the way into England. So, if we haven't had the Crusades, I think a lot of the Europe would be Muslim.
Not much wrong with that. Of course, other than it's a religion.
Well, yes, but you see, I don't know if it's true or not, but what if would capitalism and democracy come out of Islamic Europe?
I would think that capitalism and democracy came from Greece because it did really, but none of it was based on religion.
Yeah, but the
Coming from
let's say like the Ottoman Empire across the Middle East and into modern day Turkey. Would you think that there would still be an empire, or that they wouldn't, or that this Ottoman Empire or some sort of empire that would have existed if the Crusades hadn't happened would not allow democracy or capitalism?
I think that there would be a different form of it that sparks off, because you can never have just a unanimous decision to be a one religion because everybody has different beliefs. And that causes a lot of feuds and causes just war and hatred to come upon the religion itself, like individual religion in itself. So there would be another war that would change